I called a friend of mine the other day, and just to like catch up with him. It's been a minute since I talked to him, and he picks up the phone and he sounds like he sounds like I'm a complete stranger. He's just like, "Hello." I'm like, "Hey, how's it going?" He's like, "Who is this?" I'm like, "It's Chase." And it's like, "No, it's not." It's like, "Yeah, it is." And he's like, "This is," and then I hear him very vocally say, "This is the weirdest scam call I've ever gotten." And I was like, because it's not a scam call, dude. And he's like, "Where do I live?" And then I say like where he lives. And he's like, "All right, now I'm freaked out. I'm going to hang up."
Ask if that wasn't.
I don't know. And then he's like, "Well, I'm freaked out now. I'm going to hang up." And then he hangs up. He then Snapchats me 10 seconds later saying, "Hey, I just got a scam call from you saying that it was your name." And I was like, "Because it was me, dude."
Wow.
And he's like, "Oh, it was? Really? Oh, I am so sorry." And then he immediately calls me back. And he tells me that in his on caller ID, I showed up as probably a scam.
Huh.
And I have no idea how that happens or how that works. But Apple is starting to out me for the person that I am, and I don't appreciate it.
Well, they do know everything.
They're getting there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was really weird. And it was like one of the most unique conversations I've ever had, because literally nothing I could have done could have prompted him to think this is the real Chase. He's like, "You don't even sound like Chase." I'm like, "Bitch,
well,
what do I sound like then?" Who do I sound like?
Wait, how am I supposed to respond to that? Because this is my voice.
And he was just like, "Chase doesn't get high pitched like this." It's like Chase gets high pitched like this when he's angry.
Chase does get high pitched sometimes. It's true.
Yeah.
Whenever he's on the phone answering calls at work, it's up an octave, like, "Glen Massey Theater, how can I help you?"
Hello.
Hi.
This is the Glen Massey Theater.
Elmo here. Can I help you buy tickets? Can Elmo help you buy tickets?
Elmo wants to help you buy tickets. I can't. For me, it's even too early to do that. It's the headache. Mm-hmm. It's back. Oh no. So, hey y'all, we're doing it live. Welcome to the show.
You can tell in a second when I'm not yawning.
Yeah, you can tell by the not yawning that we're all really excited and happy to be here today.
Yeah, super, super duper awake. My power went out. Like 4 transformers blew in my neighborhood. Maybe 10 minutes after I got home from work last night. We were out of power for like 7 hours. So it's been a day already.
Yeah.
I'm counting yesterday, because it's collectively just making it be a day.
Yeah. Is it still out, or is it back now?
No, it's back. It's been more than 7 hours.
Yep. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
You never know. When
nice.
Things are exploding, you never entirely know when it comes back, you know?
Yeah. But, most of the people, what was it, 14% of the people in our little power grid, however MEA divides that up. 13% without power, including us.
Nice.
Yeah.
Those are numbers to strive for.
Yeah, I mean, it technically could have been worse. I guess. Technically. But my mom made us do math for an hour.
I love that. I absolutely love that. It's like, well, we don't have power. I guess we'll just do math problems.
Okay. Well, I mean, we were homeschooled, and there's this website called Bedtime Math, and it's supposed to be just quick little math challenges to give your brain a small workout before bed. And they've got levels for kids of different ages.
Mm-hmm.
And then it gives you a story prompt, and then you have to do math based off of the information you got in the story. It's complicated. It's for families. And by the end of it, my sister and I were actively yelling at each other because she was doing the problems wrong and I was not. And then she was like, nope, see, I was doing it right. Look at this piece of paper that I wrote on. I'm like, that's my piece of paper. Stop this!
I can imagine, like, if my family decided, let's do that, which that would never happen.
No, that would be really weird.
That would never happen in a million years. But like, I imagine us all like, let's go back. Let's go all do 5th grade math and none of us can do it or something like that. I probably could. I would say that I have a 95% chance of being able to do 5th grade math. But there's that 5% where I'm like, I don't remember.
I have a brother who just got out of 5th grade. Like, no, 5th grade math is actually pretty easy. It's mostly like beginning algebra at that point.
Yeah. I mean, are you smarter than a 5th grader is a thing because it's so long ago and a lot of that math is so unimportant to majority of things.
Yes. True.
Yeah. No, that's an interesting way to deal with a power outage, but hey, I won't knock it.
It did end with my brother repeatedly kicking me as I was trying to figure out how to calculate time for one of the older questions, and I was like, all right, this has been fun. Good night. And he's like,
yeah, it's like,
I don't know why you're leaving. And Mom's like, she's leaving because you're being a little turd. She asked you to stop, and you kept being annoying. Of course she's gonna leave.
Of course. That's funny.
Like, get his ass, Mom.
It's like, kill him. Do it.
Drag him.
That's fun. Hey, I wanted to ask you, since New Comic Book Day finally came back, did you get a chance to read any of the stuff that you got?
Okay. Yes and no. I haven't read a lot of what I've picked up because I did pick up the first, 22 issues of New 52 Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
On top of just, some other comics that have been there. Next week's New Comic Book Day is going to be the big one for me.
Mm-hmm.
But at some point in this, maybe this episode or the next one, because I might want to reread it, but I've already read it twice and my opinion remained the same. Lou of Aegis Comics of Alaska, the guy who runs the shop and is the host of the Aegis Comics of Alaska podcast, asked me to read Melissa De La Cruz's Gotham High.
Oh, it's that book. Oh, snap.
So
okay.
I don't read a lot of Batman. I haven't actually read any of the Batman comics.
But that's why you're perfect for that.
No, exactly. That's what he said. He's like, you're almost the right demographic for this because it's basically, YA Gotham. I don't have the strongest background of Batman, but I know the general concept. I don't like it.
No?
No. If we want to just talk about this now, I can go off.
No, do it. I'm actually super curious because I heard about this book, but I don't entirely know what it is. So can you explain to me this book?
If you want me to summarize it in one sentence, it is a high school AU out of character Batman fanfic in graphic novel form.
Okay.
If you didn't understand what those words... A high school alternate universe story.
Oh, alternate universe. Okay, yeah.
Where the characters are out of character compared to their canon selves version of Batman. Not the Batman origin story, or Batman really particularly doing anything interesting. You could trade these characters out at any time for any one snobby rich orphan, one kid whose parents suck, and one love interest girl with... I can't really say daddy issues, but reason to fuck things up. Well, sorry for swearing this time.
That honestly sounds like Batman characters.
It is so divorced from anything that reads Batman, though, other than the fact that, Bruce at the beginning of the book goes to Arkham Prep School.
Arkham Prep School.
Arkham Prep School for boys.
It's a poor choice. That's a poor choice of name.
Yeah. Let's see. the Joker's in here, but he does nothing except for play cards, and he wins by using Jokers almost every game. It's the only thing that ties him to the Joker character. And then there's Catwoman. And other than her name, the only thing that ties her to being Catwoman is having a pet cat. It doesn't read like Batman at all.
Wasn't that kind of the point of it, though?
A reimagining of Gotham for a new generation of readers.
No.
I will read the blurb on the back.
Please do. I'm super curious about this book.
After being kicked out of his boarding school, 17-year-old Bruce Wayne returns to Gotham City to find that nothing is as he left it. What was once his family home is now an empty husk, lonely but haunted by the memory of his parents' murder. Selena Kyle, previously the innocent girl next door, rules over Gotham High School with a dangerous flair, aided by the class clown, Jack Napier.
They used the name! Oh my god! They used the name from the movie!
When a kidnapping rattles the school, Bruce seeks answers as the dark and troubled knight, or is he actually the pawn? Nothing is ever as it seems, especially at Gotham High, where the parties and romances are of the highest stakes, and where everyone is a suspect. With evocative art by Thomas Pitelli, I hope. This new graphic novel is just as intoxicating as it is chilling, where dearest friends turn into greatest enemies, all within the hallways of Gotham High. No! It wasn't that interesting.
This doesn't sound good. This doesn't sound good at all.
If I were to read something with this plot, this, not as a graphic novel, but perhaps as just written out, this reads like something that I would read at 3 a.m. on Archive of Our Own because I'm really bored and don't want to go to bed. Not because it sounds good, but because this is either going to be a dumpster fire or there's going to be a couple good scenes in here.
That's not good incentive, you know?
No, but that's 3 a.m. fanfic incentive sometimes. Okay, I take it back. Selena wears, like, a choker with a cat charm on it.
Okay. Well, I mean, in, like, The Dark Knight Rises, like, Catwoman is in that, and, like, the closest thing, she's never really called that, and, like, she's a cat burglar, you know, in that, like, she always is, but she doesn't, like, say the word cat at least once in that movie. The only thing you can think of is, like, she's got, like, a pair of goggles that when she's not wearing them and she puts them on her head, it kind of looks like cat ears. Yeah. Kind of. And, like, that's it. Yeah, I mean, it's weird. That's odd.
I don't know how much you want spoiled for this.
I mean, I don't really care. I don't think I'm going to read this book.
Okay. This does read entirely as a complete alternate universe. Bruce's mom is from Hong Kong in this book.
Okay.
And also, okay, she's like the money behind the Wayne's fortune. Like, she's the one that supplied the money for her husband to, start Wayne Enterprises. And then instead of, like, them getting murdered in Crime Alley, they went to go see Madame Butterfly, and they got home and people were robbing their house and then murdered his parents there. And then that was sort of weird. Jack has a shrine to Selena in his room.
Oh.
Which is as uncomfortable as it reads.
No. No.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
The art doesn't look too awful,
The art is actually pretty good. I enjoy the art. Actually, it does sometimes look a bit weird, I will admit. The romances in this feel forced. It feels overly antagonistic for no reason. The plot gets lost about halfway through and then shows back up in the last 3 pages. Poison Ivy's there.
Oh, yeah. Is she like, what is she in that?
She's I think she's like a college student that is like, oh, let's see. She's at She works at East Med.
Okay.
And is also Asian.
So this was written by the person that wrote Crazy Rich Asians, wasn't it? Or is it somebody else?
I think that's what Lou said. Melissa De La Cruz. Let me look it up. Yeah, so Lou, when Lou handed it to me, he's like, I want this back. And I'm like, oh, that'll probably be the hard part, you know? Nah, he can have it back.
It's like, are you sure? Are you sure you want this back?
Yeah. I know, because apparently, like, a lot of people didn't like it who know about Batman.
Well, yeah.
Hardcore fans did not enjoy. She wrote Isle of the Lost for Disney. She wrote Alex and Eliza, A Love Story.
I don't know what any of these are.
She's written a bunch of, like, stuff for Disney. You know, the Disney's Descendants? There's novels to go along with those, and she's written a lot of those.
Okay.
A number of... Yeah, it's just, like, a lot of bad YA novels. I say that because I've read a number of these and did not enjoy them.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't hear very good things about the Descendants novels, so...
Yeah. She wrote like novels to go along with the hit Broadway musical Hamilton.
Oh.
YA novels about Alexander and Eliza.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, I guess, like, put yourself into the brain of, like, the Warner Brothers execs, right?
Okay.
Why hire this person? And why tell them you can do anything you want? Like, did this book do well? Is it doing well?
I don't know. I mean, I've heard about this book enough to know
I
that,
also
like,
have heard of this book, but I've heard about it mostly because everyone just says it's bad.
Yeah, I mean, I've never heard anything definitive about it. I've just, like, seen it around.
Mm-hmm.
But what's this? Cassandra Cain doing hero things or whatever. Okay. I feel like they went and they hired her, a known YA novelist, to write about Batman in a high school setting, to make graphic novels and to be an in into the Batman universe and make it more relatable to teens who aren't already into the Batman comics. Do I think she did a good job? No. This does not read as Batman. If I divorce it completely from the Batman narrative, it is a subpar YA graphic novel about fleecing rich kids and doing drugs. With
that just doesn't sound...
a bad romance plot over the top of it.
Like, it feels like
as someone who enjoys crappy teen romance novels, you know, that was the main staple that I read from age 13 to age 20. I wouldn't consider this a great YA book anyway.
No.
It's like, well, this plot twist at the end here isn't that... Well, okay. I think good plot twists have build up, and you should be able to look back and kind of see them coming, right? The hints should be there for you as an outside viewer. If you just, like, completely flip the script with no explanation hidden back in the source text, you've done a shitty job at doing a plot twist.
Mm-hmm.
This is just, like... It was such a meh plot twist. It didn't have any emotional... It didn't grip me emotionally.
Mm-hmm.
To find out that Catwoman was in charge of this whole thing. That she orchestrated the whole thing. Like... Okay. And this does what? This means what? She fleeced a rich asshole out of some of his money. somebody who doesn't even have a personality in this book. He's such a flat character, Batman is.
Yeah, I mean,
Bruce.
I will say, if you've read any Batman stuff, Batman generally is the most flat character, and that's by design.
Yeah. He just doesn't really have like a lot of lines. I hit mute. Can you hear me now?
You muted yourself.
Oh, fuck. How did I do that?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I have no idea.
Okay. Well, regardless, like, no, he's just like, the only time he has interesting conversation, and I can't even call it interesting, is when he's flirting, be it with Ivy or with Selena. So,
like, does the word Batman even show up in this book?
Nope.
Okay, I didn't think so. That doesn't make it wouldn't make sense if it did.
There's one spot where the bat emblem shows up early on in the book, but I have no idea where, and I was like, well, that was all right.
Yeah.
They also, like, briefly mention what, Dick Grayson? Maybe Dick Grayson.
Maybe.
They mentioned one of the Robins as one of the guys that goes to Arkham with Bruce.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's just
I'm thinking about, and like I'm trying to come across as not liking the concept of this, not from just like a super anal, like, this is how Batman is supposed to be written kind of guy, because if you did something super interesting with it that was super different, I'd be super into that. How many times did I say super there? Too many times.
Too many.
Too many. What the word Arkham represents in that world, to just turn it into a boarding school, seems really off to me.
Well, it's a bunch of assholes there.
Well, yeah. A bunch of assholes.
But it's not like the assholes you'd expect that would go to Arkham. It's not like the Joker's not from there. Harvey Dent's not in there because he goes to Gotham High.
Yeah.
Selena doesn't go there. Oh, because it's a boarding school for boys. And I'm like, who else could possibly be there? Bane? The Riddler? Penguin? Nobody... It doesn't... I don't know. It feels like they just kind of cherry-picked characters to go in here without much consideration for how it would work in an overall plot. I can't see them building off this at all.
No, it doesn't sound like you really can. Sounds like it's a one-off, you know?
Yeah. It's just... reimagining Gotham for a new generation of readers.
It's not. I heard that this might get a sequel, though.
If it gets a sequel, I would be interested to see how they continue on with... They did hint at something like Harvey Dent's beef with Batman is, in this book, they were going to kidnap Bruce and hold him for ransom, the main antagonist group in this book.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, Harvey and Bruce are talking, and Harvey's like, hey, I love your jacket. Can I try it on? And Bruce is like, yeah, sure, go for it. And then the lights go out and they kidnap Harvey instead of Bruce.
Oh, okay.
And then, like, they eventually pay the ransom, but, like, the bad guys cut open Harvey's face. So he has a big old nasty scar.
Oh, God. All right.
And so, like, okay, there's Two-Face.
There he is. They set him up. He's that guy. I do feel
like it's also implied that Harvey's in on it, but I have to reread again to be certain. But I have to get through, like... Oh, there's parts of this that could be good. Like, the more I think about it, like, hey, the overall kidnapping thing, if it played into something more interesting, that would have been good. The romance, if it were developed at all.
If it was done well, sure.
Good. There's ways that you could have tied that together better. Do I think this is an okay primer into Gotham? Not particularly, but, it might pique some interest. It doesn't make me like the Joker any more than I already don't. Overall, I would give this book A 6 out of 10.
6.
It is not just words, which I thought. It is a graphic novel, so it gets points for that.
It's like, it's got pictures in it. Yeah.
Provided I completely divorce it from the concept of Batman, I would say that this is an okay YA graphic novel. If I put the Batman back into it, knowing what I know in my limited experience with Gotham, it reads poorly.
Yeah. All right. Well.
This does mean I have to go give this back to Lou, though.
Oh, darn.
I heard what you said, Lou, about this book, and I came into it with, like, as open a mind as possible, but from reading that blurb, I knew it was going to kind of be a train wreck, in my opinion, and I was right.
What can you do?
My mom recommended giving it to my 13-year-old brother and seeing what he thought. I might just do that.
Oh, I want to hear that one. I want to hear
Addendum
that.
for next week's episode. We'll come back and ask my brother what he thought of this.
Follow up on Bad Batman book. What were your thoughts? I thought it was good.
He's 13. He doesn't speak like he's 6.
Oh, I know a 13-year-old that sounds like that. So,
are you making fun of somebody with a speech impediment?
No,
Chase?
I'm not. He doesn't have one. He just talks like that.
Mm-hmm.
We were both kind of, reading Batman this week. It seems was not the plan because you went to the shop one day and you picked up that and you picked up like some Wonder Woman stuff, and then I just was like, Lou just gives me all this Batman stuff, and I'm like, oh, okay. Specifically, I was like looking for Batman stuff, and then he hands me, like, I knew that I was going to get volume 3 of Batman and the Ninja Turtles, which I didn't get to yet because I realized I didn't read volume 2.
Ah, that's
so
important.
I went and read volume 2 this week. And then I picked up City of Bane. And then I picked up, and this is the one that I wasn't going to, and then he surprised it on me right at the last second, right after I had already checked out at the counter, because he likes to do that.
Love Lou.
I love Lou.
He keeps the transactions up like that.
I know. It's like...
He has gotten me like 3 times in one trip a couple of times, because I'll be with Jacob and then get distracted looking at back issue stuff, and they'll be like, okay, I just found this. You guys are going to love this. I'm like, Lou, yeah, of course I love it. Of course I'm going to take 22 issues of the first run of Harley. Of course I'm going to do that, Lou. Mm-hmm.
No, I was like about
Who
to check out.
Who do you take me for?
Exactly, right? I was just about to check out, and then I said the word Red Hood.
Mm-hmm.
And then he hands me the original graphic novel of Under the Red Hood. I went, Lou,
Lou.
Stop.
Buddy.
It's like, what the shit? Thank you. I will happily buy this, but damn it. Which I also didn't get to reading that. Which I have heard that the actual original book of Under the Red Hood is not as good as the animated movie that was made out of it. Because I've heard the book is a little bit overcomplicated. And then they simplify it a bunch in the movie, and the movie's great. But I'm super interested in reading it. The art's really good. Surprise, surprise. Generally, the art in Batman books is really good. So, yeah, we Batmaned it up this week.
Yeah. And then I spent all of yesterday. I still have, because I got home to work on it and the power went out. I still have a stack of about that tall, a little over a foot of comics to go through. But I spent the entire day scanning in my comics to the CLZ app and sorting them alphabetically. And hoo boy, I've got a ton of comics. Not a ton. I've got a lot of comics. It's actually not as many as I thought. And also I need another box. I had so many comics unbagged and just like sitting in one of my boxes. And I'm like sitting there looking at myself like, what the hell are you doing? You were so adamant about keeping these safe, and then you just put all of the unsafe ones in one box together. What is wrong with you? But, like, I scanned almost 400 comics yesterday. By hand. I have 173 series.
Oh, geez.
at this point, I still have, again, a stack of about this tall of, I think, mostly my Marvel comics, because I used to have them divided up by publisher.
Mm-hmm.
No, now it's just alphabetically so that I can use the app and just use that as a filing reference.
Man, my mom looks at my stack of books and goes, "You have too much of this." And even with me, as much as I love comics and have loved comics for like forever, I don't have as much as you or Jacob. I don't have as much.
I should text him and ask him how many comics he's scanned in, because I know he's scanned in all of his comics to the app. Also, I'm so disgruntled. I have like 3 copies of Wolf issue 1, which by all means really wasn't my favorite series, but the cover art's cool. So I just I saw it in the back issue bin and I picked it up. I was like, oh yeah, sure. And then another time I came in and I picked up the first 6 issues of it. And then another time I came in and I saw the first issue. I was like, oh, the color, this art's cool. This seems familiar. And I picked it up and took it home. I'm like, you dumbass. Why don't you have a list? Why don't you just keep a list of what you own? Come on.
Yeah. No, I have to, every once in a while, I see a book and I'm just like, I own this, right? I feel like I vividly remember buying 3 copies of it already because I wanted the variant covers. But do I have this?
I have this
I'm going to buy
cover.
it just in case. Oh, I had it. Crap.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, the CLZ app, not to plug it because they don't sponsor us. But it
we'll happily take your money
everything.
If you want to, though.
Yes, true. It alphabetizes everything and it tells you exactly how many issues you have of it and which ones you have, just scrolling through the their alphabetical list of what you have if you're in the all publishers section. Because I have more issues of Sabrina than that. Let me find one I do have a lot of. Oh, I have almost all 10 issues of Patsy Walker, aka Hellcat. And I have 1 through 7 interrupted, and then I have 9 and 10. And it tells me that's what I have just right at the bottom there without looking. So it's really handy cool. Because it tells you exactly what you have. I have Oblivion Song number 1, number 22, and number 23. Whoops.
Whoops. What can you do? I downloaded it. I have not used it. I really haven't.
It is
the task of getting every book I have scanned sounds very daunting and sounds like something I don't want to do.
If you know you have a certain number of issues in a series, you can look it up by series name instead of scanning the barcodes and press which ones you have and mass add them that way.
That's better.
Yeah. I find the scanning easier if I want to do things I know I only have 1 or 2 issues of.
Mm-hmm.
I also have 5 different series about Harley Quinn, so maybe I have a favorite.
That's a lot of Harley.
I have a lot of Harley Volume 1, most of Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy. I have the Harley Quinn Villain of the Year, a number of Harley Quinn Volume 2, and a bunch of Harley Quinn Volume 3. And issue 75 is going to be the last issue of Harley's 3rd run, and then they're rebooting it.
Yeah. Then you got to get another series, and then you add to the list.
Yeah, it's just do you have to reboot it, though?
Yes, it's comic books. It's comic books. It has to be rebooted.
Aren't there 1,000 issues of Superman?
Yeah. And guess how many times he's been rebooted?
Okay.
A lot.
I meant, just in one individual run. But...
In one individual run? I have no idea.
Okay. I feel like Superman's one of those ones that just keeps going without getting rebooted.
Everyone got rebooted in New 52.
Yeah.
When Crisis on Infinite Earths happened, everyone got rebooted. DC, what's the newest reboot that's it called? The one that introduced the Watchmen. It's literally the newest one. I can't remember what it's called.
I don't know.
In my head, I want to just call it the DC Universe reboot.
That might be it.
It's literally it's a very blatant name.
Mm-hmm.
It's Reborn. I don't know. Doesn't matter. But everyone got rebooted then. But then that reboot was soft reboot. So the stories continued, but the numbers were back to 1. So it's I don't see the point in this.
Mm.
So things have been rebooted. I feel like Marvel reboots more, but I don't actually have the information to back that up.
Fair.
Like Amazing Spider-Man is like the series that like keeps going, but even that book, they almost retconned the numbering of that book, because like Amazing Spider-Man like stopped at like issue 200 for like a year, and then it kept going, and then that was a reboot, but they kept calling it Amazing Spider-Man and just kept the number going.
Well, that's fair, I guess.
You know, and then then Amazing Spider-Man stopped, like then Superior Spider-Man started for like one run.
That asshole.
And then Amazing Spider-Man started up again, and it was just a continuation of the Superior Spider-Man storyline. But they just called it Amazing Spider-Man again, you know? Because Peter's back. Spoilers.
Can't keep it down long.
You can't. No, it's, you know, people don't die very long in the comic books, you know?
Yeah.
This is kind of relevant to our conversation. More than kind of. And I don't know how much you know about this or care, but the internet won. The Snyder Cut is being released of the Justice League movie.
I did hear about that.
The internet won. I don't know why we care so much, but we got it? Question mark.
Do you know how I heard about that?
How?
You don't. There is a Twitter account called GamerPres2020, and it is a spoof account of like basically a gamer's presidential campaign.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, first we got them to release the Snyder Cut. Next we get them to release the biggest cut of all, universal healthcare. I'm like, oh, they got the Snyder Cut. Good on them.
Sure.
I don't know what that means.
That shouldn't have happened. Like, this version of this movie coming out shouldn't exist.
It doesn't matter. Okay, that's rude to people who care, but does it matter?
So, at first, I didn't think it did either, because, and the reason I found out specifically was, TJ posted about it on Facebook.
That sounds about right.
And I commented on it, and we had a conversation in like the public comments, basically. And I look back, I'm literally reading back comments from yesterday, and I went, ooh, I'm negative. I don't like the DCU movies, mostly. Wonder Woman was good. I liked Birds of Prey.
Shazam was alright.
Shazam was fine. Shazam was like, but it was only
There were some good laughs in Shazam.
Mm-hmm. But then out of nowhere, it got dark. Like, it was like the funniest like kid comedy movie ever, and then like monsters mutilate a room full of people that didn't deserve it. I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Calm down. Tone it down.
Also, visually, DC, what the heck, guys? Like, why do I have to sit 3 inches away from my screen and squint if I want to watch your movies?
Yeah.
Like, seriously, the value is on that movie the entire time. Would it kill them to do a fight in broad daylight?
On Shazam?
Yeah, like, the carnival fight at night was really hard to watch.
Yeah.
And then, like, whenever they were down in the Shazam cave or whatever,
the Shazam
it was like,
cave.
well, this is...
It's what it is. I just think that's funny.
Yeah, like, it is basically a tomb of dark, vaguely shiny, wet-looking rocks that's just dark as shit.
Yeah.
Like, no, this isn't an enjoyable viewing experience because it hurts my head and makes me squint real hard.
Yeah. Yeah,
Stop
I don't
this.
know. Most of them aren't good. And honestly, when I heard that a Snyder version of Justice League was coming out, I went back to, oh, wait, Batman v Superman and Man of Steel, at least in my opinion, were not good movies. So why do I care about this?
Yeah.
You know? But reading into it further, I'm actually more interested now.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's the movie recut to be like almost like a TV series or something. Like, it's going to be cut into episodes. And it's going to be put on HBO Max. But this movie is like 4 hours long now.
I mean, that makes, what, 4 or 5 episodes, really.
Maybe something like
maybe
that.
6.
But it's a 4. It was originally like a 2-hour movie, maybe hour and a half movie, like a normal movie length for the original Justice League. This movie's now going to be 4 hours long, and they're spending $20 to $30 million on this cut.
Okay, that is a little bit more intriguing.
That's more than just releasing a new cut. They're reshooting this movie. They're reshooting like a solid 1/5 of this movie.
Yeah, not to be overly concerned, but like, is shooting a movie right now really in your crew's health best interest?
I mean, I don't know. I feel like this is mostly news. This doesn't come out till like early or mid 2021.
Which means filming's going on like now.
But they're only refilming a 1/5 of it, which doesn't take that long.
Okay, well.
It's just money, you know? Again, I think a good chunk of this movie that's in the original is in the new one. But I've also heard like Green Lantern is in this movie now, and Hawkman is in this movie now.
Well,
and I'm like,
that would make it more interesting, because then it's actually the Justice League.
Yeah, no. And that's what the original was missing, was that it didn't feel like a Justice League movie.
Not bad Superman, Batman,
and
Wonder Woman, and
the
Flash?
Flash is in it, yeah.
No, what, Flash? Maybe
Flash?
he comes out of nowhere. I guess Flash is in this movie.
I mean, and also like black suited Superman is in this as well. Will probably at least be in this movie too, which I'm like, okay, cool. Batman v Superman was a bad movie, and going to church would have been more worthwhile to hear the same story.
What? Oh, okay, yeah.
The biggest issue with Batman v Superman, at least for me, is that it's just way, 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 way heavy on the biblical referencing.
Oh.
Like, that's it. Like, that movie it feels like church, because it's long, and it's just talking about how Jesus is awesome the entire movie. But it's also a bunch of people saying, but he's not Jesus, he's the devil. So Batman makes the lance of Longinus to pierce his heart. And then they pierce the real devil at the end, and it's, oh god. It's dumb. It's really bad. It's a pretty movie. Really
a bit
pretty.
Heavy-handed on
it's super heavy-handed.
I definitely fell asleep during that movie, and as such, will never watch it.
It's long, you know. There's some good shots in it. Again, like there's some good bits in that movie. I think for the most part, Batman is a fun character in that movie. He kills people, which is very not Batman. But sure, spin it. Do something different with it. Make him the Punisher. I'd be interested to see how they do that. But then again, they butcher that at the end, and they make it make no sense that that's why he does it.
Okay.
It's like, why do you kill people? Because of this. That makes zero sense. I have decided to stop killing people. That makes also zero sense that you decided to stop killing people. I don't know.
Again, I fell asleep during this movie, and as such, I will never watch this movie.
You don't have to.
It's up there with How to Train Your Dragon 2. Like, as much as I may want to finish that movie, now that I've fallen asleep during it.
How to Train Your Dragon 2 is good. I like that movie.
It's been years. Also, Rogue One. Can't come back to it. I fell asleep during it the first time I tried to watch it.
You only need to see the one scene at the end. It's it.
I mean, I know what happens. I've been on the internet.
Like I'm saying, you only just need to watch the Darth Vader scene at the end because it's like the best scene in a Star Wars movie. And then that's it. Like, otherwise it's like, oh, we know what happens because it's a prequel. Who cares?
Speaking of things that were dark and bad and were released, we're just past the 1-year anniversary of the Game of Thrones finale. How do we feel about that?
I don't know. Did you watch it?
No, I don't watch Game of Thrones.
I didn't watch it either.
It feels culturally relevant because it's so culturally irrelevant.
It's like, okay, so improv time. You, without seeing it, please give me your thoughts 1 year later on the finale of Game of Thrones.
No, I know what happens. I know what happens. It sucks. It wrecked the characterization of a character I've never even watched. I knew that was out of character.
I haven't even seen
it. was such a cop-out ending. Idea. Thanks, Jon Snow. The fuck, Bram. I feel like clearly they didn't know what the hell they were doing because they're not real writers. They were relying on what George R.R. Martin, or however you say his name, wrote, which is, how it should have gone. They should have gotten somebody who actually has
pronounce.
I can't remember how many R's he has in his middle name.
There's
I feel like they
7.
should have gotten some real, actual writers in on that show at some point.
Hey, I mean, they were writing it for so long. I don't know why. This is how I do quotate, like the quote. I put my thumbs in it. I have no idea why. It's like a weird stigma in my hand. I have no idea. I can't do this. I have to do this. Anyways, audio people did not understand what that meant.
We were making dinosaur claws at each other / air quotes.
This is how we communicate. But they were going off for so long. They made some like award-winning good television, like they went years writing a show that was like, it won awards, and it's fun to watch. It's a good show, it's those last 2 seasons that, from what I've been told, because I'm still catching up, and don't know if I will. Honestly, I'm so bad at watching television. There's a lot of episodes
and they're really long.
Yeah, I mean,
also there's a lot of sex, and I'm just not. I don't really vibe with
that.
With that,
stops after season 1. Basically, there is still sex in the show, but like season 1 is just like it's filled with it, and then after that, it's like super toned down.
Okay, I still just
yeah. It's not for everybody. It's certainly like I have to take my time with it. Like season 1, I was kind of like, this is okay. Season 2, I was like, I'm more interested. Season 3, I like binged because I was like, this season is freaking rad, and I just haven't got back into it. I own on DVD 4, 5, and 6 of this of the next 3 seasons of the show, so it's like I can watch it anytime. I'm really bad at watching TV.
Yeah.
Like Last Airbender just got put on Netflix, and I'm like, oh, I'm so excited to watch that. And it's been like already a couple days and I haven't started. I'm like, when is that going to happen?
Jacob has already almost binged the entire show.
It's easy to binge, Episodes are 20 minutes long.
Wild.
The show is good. It's some of the best writing in anything ever.
It makes me want to watch Korra.
Korra is also really good.
Yeah, like I only ever heard bad things from people because they were comparing it to The Last Airbender, but like I feel like it had conceptually a lot of. I think my parents stopped watching it because there were gay undertones.
Yeah, it's not even undertones. The finale confirms it too.
Yeah, like I feel like that was the reason we stopped watching it. Is when my parents caught wind of that. But I do feel like that aside, there were a lot of parts of that tackled hard questions that were interesting.
The choreography and animation in Korra is so good, too.
The fights, there's a fight scene. Like, I don't know the characters. I'm pretty sure it's like Toph's daughter and then one of the main villains, and they're like fighting on a train.
Yeah, I just watched that fight the other day. Oh, it's so good.
Like,
chef's kiss. Chef's kiss.
Oh,
chef's kiss. Yeah. It's so good.
Period.
It's so good.
That was so fluid. It was. I could see what was going on. Take notes, DC.
And the people made the Venom movie. I can't watch it. It's hard to.
I love Venom, but I do have to like squint.
No, that final fight is unwatchable. You can't.
It is really
annoying.
See it. Until everything blows up. But Korra, I'm gonna have to binge that once I'm done. Binge. I mentioned Fantasy High, Dimension 20s.
You've been watching
D&D.
A lot of that.
I am on to the season finale. I crashed hard after the last episode I watched. There's like 2 episodes left in season 1, and dude, like, they just had they all had touching moments with their parents in this last episode I watched. After many jokes about having daddy issues, like everybody kind of like had moments where they kind of either reconciled with their parents, or just like their parents were like, hey, we love you and support you, or like no, we're still religious fanatics, screw you, which was also very funny. But it's just like, damn Brennan, and the acting that the crew brings, it just, So now I'm gonna just binge everything from Dimension 20, and then maybe I'll watch Korra.
Do you have to pay for Dimension 20?
The first season of, because most of it's on Dropout. The first season of Fantasy High, all of it is on YouTube, and then it's like, I think it's like $7 a month for Dropout.
Mm-hmm.
But they have like all of the draw fee stuff and like all of their skits and a bunch of other shows on there. So
yeah,
their new game, Crown of Candy, which is like political intrigue, apparently to rival Game of Thrones. Also very good, apparently, and I'll probably watch that. Oh, no. First season of Fantasy High is on YouTube. First season of their other D&D game, The Unsleeping City, which is set in New York, is also very good. I've watched like the first 8 episodes of that.
Mm-hmm.
That's on YouTube as well.
Okay. There's a lot. Hey, guys, there's a lot to watch. No, I wasn't sure if you were going to bring up that Legend of Korra fight, because I also saw that on Twitter the other day.
So good. And like, how could I not bring that up?
And the next post underneath of it was literally, it had nothing to do with the previous one, but somebody was just like, appreciation post for Korra's muscles. Damn. And it's just 4 really good shots of Korra in the 3rd season. Just like
ripped.
Fucking ripped.
Like the definition, like goals. Honestly,
it's cool. She was a good character. I didn't like Korra. I liked the first season of Legend of Korra, but I didn't like Korra in the first season. She got way better in 2 and 3.
Yeah, there was a lot of character development that happened. Mm-hmm. I think somebody put it as Aang was struggling to find his place as the avatar that everybody needed, whereas Korra's struggle was being the avatar that nobody needed, but she wanted to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, ooh, that's a real poignant way to put that. Ooh.
But the villains, I think, the villains in each of those seasons are so, except for 2. The villain in season 2 is not great. I don't like the overall plot of season 2, but the villain of season 1 and 3 are super fun. And 4. Even 4 has got a good villain in it. They're all fun. They do unique things with the mythos and the characters and the world and stuff like that with those characters. It's a good show. Yeah. I'd still say Last Airbender's better, but Legend of Korra is a great show.
I want to read the comics.
I also want to read the comics. I haven't done any of that.
Lou, get us the comics, please.
Lou, hey.
Do
you know what The Last Airbender is?
Please.
It's hip with the kids.
It's hip. If you're hip to jive, you'll get some of these.
Well, to be fair, it hasn't been hip to the jive for a while, and now that it's on Netflix, it's back. It's back.
It's back, baby.
Yeah. I'm seeing a rise in like weirdly hipster comments again on Twitter and posting all these motherfuckers are out here like saying how cool this show is. I watched it when it came out. It's like, guys, let's just all be friends. Let's all enjoy the fact that we can watch this show again without having to buy it on Amazon.
Yeah. Or find a box set.
Or find a box set, which is really hard to.
I have all of them because we got into it back before it ended, so we just bought the box sets as they came out.
I own the first 2 seasons on Amazon because I was just like, I want to watch this show. I'll just binge it. And I fell asleep like halfway through season 2 because I was just watching it nonstop. And then I didn't buy the 3rd season because I was like, I don't know when I'm going to get back into this. And now it's on Netflix. And so next time I edit something that doesn't have audio in it, I will probably put it on.
Yeah.
Or Game of Thrones. No, I won't do that.
Yeah. No, my plans for after this are to finish my comic stack and to start on that finale for Fantasy High, because that's literally... All right, my ADHD is getting so bad with not having school to do to keep me, like, in check that I have just incredibly focused in on watching the show to the point of doing literally nothing else and it being the only thing I can think of. It's a problem.
No, so when
I keep pissing people off because I can't, like, I will not disengage from the show, and if I get pulled out of it, I get really snappy and mad, and it's like, I hate this. Trust me, I hear you. I hate this too, but also, can I just enjoy something for once? Can I stop going like a whole semester? It's been 4 months since I've enjoyed anything last. Can I have this? Can I have like a week to myself to just enjoy things?
No. Liv, you're not allowed.
No, I know I'm not allowed. I'm struggling with that.
It's gonna be fine. When I am also like this and my like ADHD brain starts going off, like I need like you, I just need to keep my brain on like one individual thing. Mm-hmm. And I started writing like a one shot for D&D, which like required me to do some research on some like locations. So I have been playing nonstop Assassin's Creed Syndicate, which came out forever ago, but it's the Assassin's Creed that has two main characters and takes place in Victorian England. Mm-hmm. So it's like one of my favorite settings ever. So like I'm playing through that, and like, oh my god, that the traditional Ubisoft Assassin's Creed Far Cry formula of like, look at this giant map. There's 5 things to do in each sector, and you have to get rid of all the red on the map. Is like, I can't do it every year, but like once every 3 years, I can play one of those games, and it will. You can't put it down because it's like my brain goes, I have to get rid of all the red. It's not even the fact that I'm having fun. I just have to get rid of all the red on the map. My character is super over leveled because I keep going to high level areas to get rid of the red, and I have not continued the story mode past like the 2nd or 3rd mission.
Wow.
It's like, I have to get rid of it. I don't care if it gets harder. I need to get rid of it. But it's good. It's actually really fun. Those are 2 good characters. I'm also like looking up like Bloodborne imagery and watching lore videos for Bloodborne again to make me go, very good inspiration for the thing I'm writing. It's very exciting. But yeah, that's me. That's like me the past like week and a half is just cramming Victorian era art style and locations and building designs and architecture in my brain. Mm-hmm. And also procrastinating editing for my YouTube channel.
Well, I mean, that's not what you do for fun.
Yeah.
I'm if you're sitting just not feeling it, then...
Yeah. I'm sitting on 3 sessions of footage that I'm like, I need to do that. Trat. Oh, well, yeah, it's for fun, so...
Yeah, like, don't push yourself too hard. It's just, don't make it into a job.
No.
Unless you're getting paid for it.
Unless you're getting paid for it. Speaking of which, guys, is Comic CLZ app, pay us. I'm just kidding. No. Just kidding.
But also, use it. Gosh, it makes things so much easier, and I can't wait to go to the comic shop next week and pick up only things I don't already own.
Mm-hmm. Because you can check and be like, oh, thank God I own this.
Like, yes, I own this, but not this cover.
I don't have the first issue of the Gwen Stacy book.
Do I? I think I don't.
I have 2 copies of the 2nd issue. Because every single I keep double checking and be like, nope, I don't have this book. I don't have it. And I'll tell Lou, it's like, hey, I don't have issue 1. He's like, I'm pretty sure you do. You have it. I know for a fact you have it. It's like, I don't. I do not have issue 1, sir.
Yeah, I only have issue 2.
Yeah, it's weird. Issue 1 didn't come out. It's a mystery.
Like the first couple of issues of Black Cat.
I've got all of Black Cat. I don't need to worry about that.
There's one of Black Cat, or 1 or 2 that, like, issue 4. Couldn't find issue 4 anywhere.
Oh, yeah. Issue 4 was hard to find. It, like, sold out and nobody was making copies of it. And then finally...
Which is so dumb.
They finally were re-releasing it, but the cover was awful.
Well, just to have it. That's where I'm at this point.
Do you not even... Like, I thought you got it at some point.
No, I have 3, 4... Or, no, I have 3, 5... Yeah, 3, 5, 6, 8, and 9. So I need number 7. as well. 1, 2, 4, 7.
I might have another copy of 7. I have a copy of 4. I was like, I bugged Lou about it. Like, it wasn't even just like, oh, when it's in, just let me know. I literally, like, every single time I went to the shop, I said, issue 4, do you have it? And he's like, no. Do you have it? No. Do you have it? No. And then one day he's like, yes, there's only 1. It's like, are you kidding me?
Well, good. It's mine now. So you actually have 0. I couldn't imagine talking to Lou like that.
Right. I would never. Lou, we love you dearly. No. We truly do.
Oh, I have too much respect.
You're too cool of a dude for us to be mean.
You're not Matt.
You're not.
Sorry, Matt. We love you too. You're just easier to make fun. Please don't fire me again. We have an entirely different, parasocial relationship here. One that allows for joking and teasing.
I can't.
I was trying to think of other adults I know that I'm comfortable teasing, and it's like Matt.
It's it. It's only Matt.
I know 3 adults that I'm not related to, and it's Matt,
I know
Lou,
3 adults,
and Amy.
that's it.
It's Matt, Lou, and Karen. And Karen and I do not have a joking relationship, but she's a great boss. So it's just Matt. Sorry, Matt.
We love you, Matt. I did show you the screenshot of my conversation with Matt the other day.
Yes.
Of me suggesting we should get name tags, and you have one that says Matt, and I have one that says I'm Matt when Matt doesn't want to be Matt.
I love that. Because
the funniest thing in the world is whenever I'm in the freaking box office and somebody comes in, they see me. I'm the first person they see, and they assume I'm Matt.
I want one that also says Matt. It's just like also Matt.
We're all Matt.
We're all Matt here.
And that, like,
or maybe mine will say Chase.
Oh, you're Chase.
Chase when Chase is being Matt. It's a hierarchy thing.
Hello. Ding ding. They ring the bell. They go to you. Hello, ma'am. I'm looking for Matt. It's like, I'm sorry, Matt is Chase right now. Or Chase is Matt right now. Do you still want to talk to him?
Or like, hey, I'm looking for Chase. Well, that's me. Are you sure? Well, I'm like, Matt's not being Matt right now, so Chase is being Matt. And that makes me Chase. The Olivia position is open if you want it.
That's Corey. Corey's Olivia.
Corey's Olivia now. Corey got demoted to below student worker. It's because nobody wants Corey's job.
It's
Sorry,
fine.
Corey.
No, it's fine. Corey doesn't get demoted. Ben gets his job back.
Ben gets his job back.
I'm kidding, Ben. We love you. I just saw that he followed the Instagram account the other day, and I was like, "Oh, that's awesome."
He's alive.
He is alive, unless somebody stole his account. Ben, if you're listening,
I mean, in that case,
hello,
then they become Ben, right?
Become Ben. Ben, I want to talk to you about putting buttermilk on the intro of the podcast.
Wouldn't it just be easier to text him, though?
Yeah. I want him to conversate with us. Is conversate a word? I don't know.
I mean, we got to put together like a list of people to interview because like Matt would be great.
Oh my gosh.
Lou would be awesome. Would love to talk to Lou on the podcast. Ben, I guess.
What was your mindset when writing Buttermilk?
You as a professional artist, how do you feel that music affects the political landscape of our country?
I feel like,
especially in these trying times,
when most writers and most artists take a part of their soul to create their work. What part of your soul did you put into buttermilk? Was it the one with the creamy center, or was it...
That was a lovely face. Sorry. Yeah.
Hey, that's the thumbnail image. I'm just kidding.
God, please don't. I've made a lot of great faces during this episode. Please don't use any of them.
That's not fair.
Okay, look. I saw it a couple times and I was like, all right, I'm feeling this a little bit less. And then I was at work and my mom texted me and she's like, maybe you should talk to Chase about using a different picture of you. Because this one's not the best picture of you. And I'm just like, ouch. My mom, who does not care what picture she puts of me on social media, went out of her way to be like, sweetie.
I genuinely didn't think your facial expression was that bad. I thought
it wasn't the facial expression, it was just like the balance, and then also I just kind of looked like a toe.
Yes, I was even told that of like, no, not you look like a toe. No one told me that. No one said that.
Okay, God, thanks.
Sorry, didn't want to make that. I want to make it clear. Nobody said you looked like a toe. But I was told hey, you just did. I was told work on your contrasting and work on your shading and stuff with this picture, because these two pictures have a very different video quality.
Yours was much better.
Well,
yours was a good picture of you, and then I'm like,
at the end of the day, the difference is just like, I think my laptop's camera is just better quality.
Well, yeah, mine's like a $300 crap top.
Yeah. And like, I literally, all I did in that thumbnail was I just turned us black and white and then I left it. And I was like, I'm just going to do this for now. The next episode, I'll put some shading on it. I'll contrast it. I'll make it look a little bit better and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yes.
And I'll do that.
The big edits.
Big edits. Oh my gosh. When I was talking to another friend of mine over the phone, I was like super surprised. Like, he was just like, oh, I've been listening to the podcast. It's really good. And it's like, oh, thanks. He's also like one of the people that I did YouTube years, like growing up since like 2012. So like we've done a lot of video / audio editing together. And he's also like in film school. So, excuse me. He was just like, I would just say you need to work on your audio editing. And I'm just like, it's like, that's fair. I don't know how to edit this podcast.
Yeah.
And like, I'm working on it. I'm putting more filters on things. And it's starting to sound good, but the things I need to remove more often are like the creaks and the like the heavy breathing and the ums and the ahs. And
yeah, I need to get a filter to go over the top of this to muffle some stuff, because
so do I.
Lordy.
Yeah, I also just need to fix my chair because it's really creaky, and I just need to like tighten the bolts or something because it creaks a lot. And I'm like, oh, this is so annoying. But hey, that's just the deal. You know, we're not even into episode 10 yet. It's fine.
We're getting closer, though.
We're getting close.
Episode, what?
This is 7. This is 7.
Is it 7?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, it's weird. My sister listens to this podcast.
Shoot. Yeah.
We're on something. My older sister, the one that I don't ever interact with her. She's like, she moved and we weren't really super close when she like moved out of the house and all that. And so like sometimes she'll just text me out of the blue about the podcast. And I'm just like, I don't know how to respond to any of this, but I am genuinely touched that you listen. When we were talking about our Netflix show, she texted me when she was listening to the first episode and was like, I haven't finished the episode, but what you were describing immediately what jumped into my head. The Office button space.
Isn't that what we were going for, though?
Yeah, like talking head interview, drama. I was like, yes, exactly.
Plus
but then
gladiatorial combat.
It has definitely dipped more towards space drama instead of space reality show or whatever those are called. Those have a name.
Mockumentary?
I guess, maybe.
Kinda.
Mockumentary.
That's kind of what The Office is. Not really, but...
No, it has a specific genre name. I just can't remember offhandedly.
I don't know either.
I don't know.
Hey, there's another good face for the thumbnail.
God, please. I can't control it. It's my face. It just does things.
I want that to be the title of this episode. So bad. It has nothing to do with anything we talk about.
What?
But
It's my face. It does things.
no, it's I can't control it. It's my face. It's oh, that's funny.
I can't. I just make expressions.
That's funny. That's really funny.
I would be a great silent film actor. I'm very expressive.
Okay, I'm gonna cut us off there.
Yeah, on this note, this has been Doing It Live.
This is Doing It Live. Thanks for watching. Share it. Tell your friends about it. Check us out on YouTube and Spotify and SoundCloud. We'll be on some other places here at some point.
I'm try to get Stitcher and Apple soon.
I still don't even know what Stitcher is. I'll probably try Apple.
It's a podcast app. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I'd never heard of it until TJ told me about it.
Hi, TJ.
Hello. He's not listening because he's waiting for us to be on Stitcher.
Oh, but he'll get here.
He will, and then he's gonna be like, "Whoa, this is freaking meta." Oh my god.
This is us from the past saying hi.
Hello. Okay, really quickly, final story. I was playing Animal Crossing the other day.
Ew.
I know, gross. It's so good though. Shut up. Like the game is awful, but it's amazing at the same time.
Do you know how much we just sold our turnips for? Like hell yeah.
It's so much. I still have money. It feels great. Apparently forever ago, I sent myself a postcard from to my future self. And I just woke up the other day or whatever, loaded it up, and I opened my mailbox, and it's a message from me, and all it says is Nook is a cuck.
What's wrong with you?
I don't know. I don't remember doing that.
It really was you from the past.
It was literally that had to have been the second,
right after you got the game,
the day I got the game or the next day. It had to have been.
Oh my god!
God, I got that letter, and I just about peed myself from reading it.
Oh my gosh!
It was so funny. I don't know if it's true. It could be, but I have no idea. He doesn't wear pants, so he's already got the first tier for being a cuck.
Okay,
I'm just saying. Hey, the podcast is done.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
What does his pants down have anything to do with it?